just the harness and then drop away. You all good? We'll be good soon. Just like a parade ground full of recalcitrant diggers. Too far to kick off. It's a pretty decent turnout tonight.
Good evening, visitors. Welcome to the Australian War Memorial's Last Post ceremony. My name is Michael Kelly, and joining us this evening from the Australian Army is Sergeant Diane Mason. We warmly welcome the family of Pilot Officer Thomas Burnett, whose story will be told shortly. We welcome the veterans who have served, those that are still serving, and the families that support them. We acknowledge the members of RSL and Services Clubs Association, RSL Victoria, and RSL Queensland who are watching the broadcast of this ceremony across Australia. During the ceremony, wreaths will be laid at the base of the pool of reflection. Please stand and join in singing the national anthem. The Australian War Memorial was the vision of Charles Bean, Australia's First World War official historian. Bean landed with the Australian troops on Gallipoli and stayed with them at the front through till the end of the war. The idea of this national memorial and museum came to him at Pozières, France, in the depths of the bloody fighting of 1916. Bean's idea was that this would be a place where families and friends could mourn their loved ones buried in faraway places. It would also be a place that could help all Australians understand what these men and women had endured and what they had done for us. Bean's vision, to which we remain true, is best expressed as inscribed in the entrance to the memorial's galleries. Here is their spirit in the heart of the land they loved, and here we guard the record which they themselves made. Tonight we'll read the story behind just one of those on the Roll of Honour, which lists the names of more than 102,000 men and women who have given their lives for us in war and operations for more than a century. But first we present a lament, Flowers of the Forest. Wreaths of floral tributes will now be laid at the base of the pool of reflection.
Today we pay tribute to Pilot Officer Thomas Alfred Burnett, who was killed on active service with the Royal Air Force during the Second World War on the 11th of June 1944. Born in Fernley, New South Wales, on the 15th of April 1916, Thomas Alfred Burnett was the son of Robert Somerville Burnett and Lillian May Burnett. He married Jean Lorraine Burnett of Canterbury, New South Wales, and together they had a son, Arthur. In December 1941, Thomas Burnett enlisted in the Royal Australian Air Force. He began training as a pilot. Before long, he embarked for overseas service. As part of the Empire Air Training Scheme, Burnett was one of almost 27,500 RAF pilots, navigators, wireless operators, gunners and engineers who throughout the course of the war joined squadrons based in Britain. After arriving in Britain, Burnett undertook further specialist training before being posted to No. 90 Squadron, Royal Air Force, which was equipped with 4-engine Avro Lancaster heavy bombers. On the 11th of June 1944, the Lancasters of No. 90 Squadron were taking part in a large raid on the railway yards at Dreux, west of Paris, an operation conducted to support the foothold gained by Allied forces that had landed in Normandy the previous week. Shortly after bombing the target, the Lancaster, in which Burnett was the pilot, was shot down. 4 members of the crew managed to bail out and survive the war. Burnett was killed, along with 2 of his British crewmates, Cecil Arthur Page and Dennis Andrew Frederick. Thomas Burnett was 28 years old. He is buried alongside his crewmates at Dreux Communal Cemetery in France. He is one of more than 5,000 Australian airmen killed in Europe during the Second World War. His name is listed on the Roll of Honour on my left, among some 40,000 Australians who died while serving in the Second World War. His photograph is displayed today beside the pool of reflection. This is but one of the many stories of service and sacrifice told here at the Australian War Memorial. We now remember Pilot Officer Thomas Alfred Burnett, who gave his life for us, for our freedoms and in the hope of a better world. They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them.
We will remember them.
Lest we forget.
Lest we forget. We leave you this evening with the words of the memorial's founder, Charles Bean. Many a man lying out there at Poziere or in the low scrub at Gallipoli, with his poor tired senses barely working through the fever of his brain, has thought in his last moments, well, it's over, but in Australia they will be proud of this. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the last post ceremony. We thank you for visiting the Australian War Memorial and good evening.